Hello, everyone. This is the Math Puzzle Crash Course, and we've got a little bit of a different video for you today. I want to spend a little bit of time discussing the Windows calculator. In this case, I'm using Windows 11. It's basically the same as Windows 10, very similar to Windows 7, earlier versions of Windows. And the main reason is I've got a lot of problems that come up that I've done a lot of videos on order of operations problems and so on. And a lot of times people give different answers depending on what type of calculator they're using. I think there's a little bit of confusion on how some of these calculators do work. Um, One of the things to mention is that the calculator that you'll see in Windows, what you see right in front of you now, is a standard mode, and that's the default. And it's good for adding numbers. I can add 7 plus 7 and hit the equal sign, and I get 14. That's all great. I can multiply things together, do all kinds of things. 8 times 9. Yeah, that's great. That's 72. But let's say I have a problem like 7 plus 7 times 4. What does that equal? Well, I could try typing it. 7 plus 7 times 4. That looks kind of weird up here, doesn't it? And hit equal. Uh-oh, I get 56. It says 14 times 4 is 56. And the reason behind that is, and it's not very well explained at all. Well, I don't even know if it is explained by Microsoft, but the standard mode calculator works in what's called immediate execution mode. So it's basically the same as hitting the equal sign after every operation. So if I give you a problem like 7 plus 7 times 4, it's taking 7 plus 7, hitting equals, you're getting 7 plus 7 is 14, then it's multiplying by 4 and giving you 56. And that's incorrect when you have mixed operations. Um, Now, it doesn't mean the calculator's no good. It means that this calculator works in what's called immediate execution mode. It's not working in what's called expression mode. Expression mode would be the mode where you can enter an entire expression in as it's written with mixed operations, and that those types of calculators have memory built in to keep track of the proper order of operations. So when you see this answer of 56, it does not mean that you are correct. So that is not correct at all. All right. So what we can do here is switch the mode to over to scientific. There's also a scientific mode, and scientific mode that works. Clear this out first. Scientific mode works in what's called expression mode. So you can type in mixed operations problems. If we take the problem that we had before, 7 plus 7 times 4, now I haven't hit the equal sign yet, but you already can see that it's keeping track of everything I've entered. It's actually showing 7 plus 7 times 4. And now I hit the equal sign, and it gives me the correct answer of 35. And why did it do that? Because in this mode, it knows that 7 times 4 has precedence over addition. Multiplication has precedence over addition. So you actually have to calculate the 7 times 4 first and then add the 7, and you get 35. And if you doubt me, please look up the order of operations. Please reference some of the links I have in the video about the order of operations. Um, those are the correct answers. That is the correct answer, 35. Um, Now, the nice thing is this calculator's got some other cool things. I'll be honest with you, I've really never used the graphing mode in it. That is kind of cool. You've got a graphics mode where you can enter an expression, and it will do some graphing, which is kind of cool. I don't remember seeing that in some of the older versions. One of the things that I personally do use a lot, because I do a lot of programming, I do really like this programmer mode because I do a lot of work in different number formats. I have a video out there on what hexadecimal, decimal, octal, and binary. Those are just different number formats, which I do have a video on, and that is out there. Um, you can reference that. I'll try to put a link if I can in the notes here. but I do have a video out on that. But I can enter a number in here like 85 decimal. Now most people are used to decimal. It's the base 10 system that everybody is used to. So the number 85, in hexadecimal, that's 55. In octal, that's 125. Binary, then it's 01010101. So all this is doing is it's just converting to the other number formats, and I do use that quite a bit, but a lot of other people may not have any use for that. There are some other cool things in here, like currency converters. I can do things like enter in the dollar, and it gives me I guess it's using the rates today, which is kind of cool. I'll be honest, I've never used this feature before, but I can enter in 8 US dollars. It tells me how many euros that is. There's other conversions in here as well. Probably not showing up. I guess in Denmark it's the krone. Not showing the entire thing. Egypt, the Egyptian pound. Wow, 386.48 pounds. So there's quite a difference here. It's got a lot of them in here. Fiji, the Fiji dollar. You've got the Uruguay peso, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't realize it had these many. This is actually kind of neat. I mean, it's got a lot of countries in here. I'm scrolling through the list. You're probably only seeing a portion of it because I'm only capturing the screen of the calculator, but it's a pretty cool thing. Cambodia, the real or Ryle, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. So that's kind of a cool conversion. You've got things like volume. So you can say, oh, fluid ounces, all right? So let's say I've got 16 fluid ounces. That's equal to 96 teaspoons. Um, it's also what, 32 tablespoons. You can go in here and say, how many liters? 0.473176 liters is equivalent to 16 fluid ounces. So this is actually really nice. And I'll be honest, I haven't played around with this one before with the volume. I'm kind of going through that for the first time. The length is kind of a neat one. You've got conversions in here. A lot of times we're converting between, I'm in the United States, so we're still basing a lot of our measurements off of body parts, which is kind of strange. I don't think we're using the cubit anymore, but the feet. We have feet and inches, so you can convert inches and feet. You can convert inches to meters, so I could say 8 inches is 0.2032 meters. Now down here in the bottom, it's kind of interesting too. It actually shows us about equal to this many feet, this many yards, and this many hands. I have heard that. I think horses are, I believe, still to this day, they're often referred to as how many hands tall they are. And gosh, what all they have here? Nanometers, microns, millimeters, feet, yards, miles, nautical miles. So I don't see light years or parsecs, anything like that, but you can do some of those conversions in here as well. And gosh, there's weight and mass, temperature. So you could come in here and say Fahrenheit to Celsius. So 85 Fahrenheit, and I want it to be in Celsius. It's 29.44444, or I can even do Kelvin. So there's Kelvin, 302 Kelvin. So you got temperature in here. You have energy, joules to food calories, foot pounds, British thermal units or BTUs, and so on. So very helpful. Back in the day, back in the 90s, was it Jason? What was his name? Jason Madison. There was a little temperature program, or not a temperature program, a conversion program. I think it was just simply called Convert, and it was a little Windows program that I always used to load. And it was great for doing all these conversions. But it looks like with this calculator, you've got a lot of this right within here. You got time. You can convert over time. You can convert power, data. I don't know gigabytes to megabytes. Hey, there you go. I know a lot of people are confused between kilobytes, megabytes, terabytes. I don't know what they go up, petabytes. Wow, they go up zettabytes, yottabytes. Wow. I'll be honest, I don't know some of these some of those. and I probably should. We got angles, things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here, quite a bit of conversions, things like that. But again, most people when they're using this calculator, it'll be stuck on the standard mode. So yeah, when you're doing math problems that mix operations like multiplication and addition, division, subtraction, and so on, you're mixing those all together. Um, the real ones you got to look out for is when you're mixing like addition and multiplication or addition and division, subtraction and multiplication, things like that. You've got to be wary of the type of calculator you're using. And if you are using standard mode, you need to remember to do your multiplication or division first before you're adding or subtracting. And you can do that. It's not that bad. You've got, oh, what else in here? I mean, I think I pretty well covered most of the main parts of the calculator. You do have these memory functions. I always tell people too that, if you're using a standard calculator, you can, manipulate an expression and use memory store and recall. You have these buttons up here, which a lot of people are not that familiar with, but MS means memory store, save a new number into the memory. MR is recall the number from memory. You have M plus, which is adding, you add together the number in your input box, and it adds it to the most recently stored number. So these are just memory functions. The M minus subtracts the number in the input box from the most recently stored number. And you can also use that from the memory pane too, but and MC is just clearing all the numbers from within your memory storage. M would just display all the numbers that you have in memory. So you've got those keys. I typically don't mess with those, honestly. They work a lot in the same way they would on a physical calculator, if you're familiar with those memory store and recall functions. But you've got a little more access to things here with that. But yeah, that's really most of the features that you have here. I think there are some keyboard shortcuts too, but I just wanted to get through some of the main things. I just want to really, the big thing here is the standard and the scientific mode. Be very careful when you're mixing operations. I hope the video has been helpful. Hope you've learned something from it, and I hope to see everybody in the next video. Consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next video.